This is it. Log entry 907. This is the final and only log of the starship Adagio. At least the only one that will matter. I am Captain Eva Rostova, and I am the last one transmitting from this sector. From any sector, I think. The long-range relays have been silent for 3 full days. A profound quiet that speaks louder than any explosion. The war against the choir is over. That much is certain. And we did not win. You are alone now, sitting on the command deck. The bridge is bathed in the deep, tired red of emergency lighting. Your throne, that is what the junior officers called the captain's chair. A bit of gallows humor from people who knew they were already ghosts. Today, it feels less like a throne and more like a tombstone. You are the last captain of a dead fleet, a lonely sentry aboard a ship full of memories. The silence is a physical presence. It presses in from all sides, a weight heavier than any planet's pull. It is a crushing, final sort of quiet. All that remains is this recording. A single voice pushed into the uncaring void, a message in a bottle, thrown into a dead ocean between star systems. Will anyone ever find it? Does it even matter if they do? Probably not. The odds are astronomical. But you do it anyway. It is the last order you will ever follow. An old directive from a long-dead high command. The order to bear witness, to ensure that some record exists, a testament that humanity was here, that we saw the abyss and did not blink, that we existed, with all our flaws and all our fire. And when the end came, we did not go quietly into their perfect night. This log is the proof. This is the final word, our word. You feel them long before you see them. The sensation begins deep inside your bones. A low-frequency hum that resonates in your teeth. A building pressure just behind your eyes. It is an intimate, violating feeling. A presence you have come to know with absolute dread. The choir is coming. They do not travel the way we do. They do not burn exotic fuels or tear holes through space-time. They simply arrive, as if they were always here, waiting in the folds of reality. A thought you cannot shake, a nightmare made real. You run a diagnostic on the long-range sensors. For the 100th time, the 1,000th. The screens remain stubbornly blank. The system reports nothing but empty space. Normal background radiation. The system is a good machine, but it is a liar. It cannot measure the approach of a psychic hurricane. Our best instruments are useless against them. Our star science is a child's crayon drawing next to their impossible art. You can feel their song building in the space around the Adagio. It is not a sound that travels through the air. It is not waves that can be blocked or measured. It is a presence, a vast and terrible harmony. It wants to rewrite the universe to its own liking. Starting with your mind, it wants to make you a part of its perfect silent music, to smooth out your messy thoughts into one clean note. They are out there, a ghost fleet moving through the dark, waiting to bring their final, all-consuming silence. And you are here, waiting for them. The last candle stubbornly burning in an oncoming storm. It is almost a relief, in a strange way. The long, agonizing wait is nearly over. The anticipation has been its own kind of torture. Now, the performance is about to begin. You just wish you had better seats, or maybe a ship that could actually fight back. You remember the day the stars went mad. Everyone who survived the first wave does. We called it First Contact, a tragically optimistic name for an apocalypse. There was no greeting, no exchange of culture or knowledge. There was only the song. It arrived without warning. sweeping through our fledgling colonies on the galactic frontier. It turned bustling cities into silent, open-air tombs. Minds that touched the song simply broke. They unraveled under the sheer pressure of its alien perfection. It was a logic so pure it made our own thoughts seem like random screaming. Our best telepaths were the first to fall, the ones we sent to listen. They lasted mere seconds before their minds shattered. They screamed about a music so beautiful, it was a physical agony. A perfect harmony that proved all individuality was just flawed noise. It was a weapon beyond our darkest imaginings. It did not need to destroy bodies. It erased souls. It left behind thousands of empty shells, men and women staring at walls, their minds lost forever, trapped in the endless, recursive loop of the choir's melody. We fought back, of course. We are human. That is what we do. We threw everything we had at them. Fleets of our best warships, armies equipped with our most advanced weapons. We may as well have been throwing rocks at a god. Their song passed through our shields as if they were not there. It slipped through the meter-thick armor of our dreadnoughts. It found us huddled in the deepest bunkers. It even found us in our sleep. The war was lost before the first shot was ever truly fired. We were just too stubborn, too proud to admit it. We fought for 10 years. 10 years of watching our worlds go silent one by one. 10 years of sending our best and bravest to die. Not in a blaze of glory, but in a quiet room, staring at nothing. And now they are here. The main viewport of the Adagio shimmers. Then, as if reality itself is tearing open, they appear. One by one, they bloom into existence. They are not made of metal or any substance you recognize. They look like sculpted light, crystalline structures that catch the faint starlight and refract it into 1,000 colors. They are terribly, heartbreakingly beautiful. A garden of impossible glass flowers blooming in the blackness of space. Each ship is a unique, breathtaking design. Some are like spiraling towers made of pure white, glowing energy. Others are intricate, shimmering lattices of silver and what looks like solid gold. They do not move with thrusters or engines we can detect. They glide through the void, silent, inexorable, perfect. A fleet of deadly musical instruments, an orchestra of oblivion. They arrange themselves into a flawless geometric pattern, a mandala of annihilation that spans 1,000,000 kilometers, a silent testament to their power. This is the choir's grand fleet, the bringers of the silent peace. There are thousands of them, an armada so vast it could blot out the local sun. They are not attacking, not yet. They are simply waiting, radiating that perfect, terrible harmony across space. A psychic pressure wave that announces their presence. They are letting you feel the full weight of their song, letting you understand how completely and utterly you are outmatched, letting the despair sink in. It is the cruelest kind of art, a masterpiece of psychological warfare, a final, beautiful insult before they wipe the board clean. They are showing you the face of your destroyer, and it is the most beautiful thing you have ever seen. You almost want to thank them for the view. Almost. Your hands are shaking, but your movements are precise. Years of training take over. You key in your highest command codes into the captain's console. There is one last place to look for a weapon, for an answer. A single file buried deep in the ship's protected memory banks. It was placed there by High Command, back when High Command still existed. Level 10 clearance. Captain's eyes only. A file so secret, most of the Admiralty did not know it existed. You never thought you would have a reason to open it. The file is named simply Heresy. A promising start, you think, a grim smile touching your lips. A little bit of human defiance in the naming convention. You always did appreciate dark humor. You input the final passphrase, a single word taught to you by General Madsen himself. A word known only to you and a handful of dead heroes. The file unlocks with a soft chime that sounds like a death knell. The screen fills with text. But it is not a battle plan. Not in any way you recognize. It is a dense document. A terrifying fusion of theoretical star science and forbidden psychic research. It talks about things like psychic resonance and harmonic dissonance. It details the theoretical structure of the choir's hive mind. It is not a weapon of steel and fire. It is a weapon of ideas. A strategy so desperate, so unorthodox, it was deemed too dangerous to ever attempt. It was codenamed Protocol Dissonance, the unspoken protocol, the final, last-ditch, break glass in case of extinction plan. A strategy to fight their perfect song with our imperfect noise. To weaponize our own chaos, it is utter madness. It is almost certainly suicide. And as you stare at the beautiful, deadly garden outside your window, you realize it is the only thing you have left. The pressure in your skull intensifies. The faint hum is a throbbing roar now. The choir's song is beginning its real work. This is not a violent, clumsy assault. It is a gentle, insidious, and deeply personal process. It starts with your memories. As if searching a database for weaknesses, it plucks at them like a bored musician testing the strings of a new instrument. A sudden, vivid flash of your mother's face, smiling at you on your 5th birthday. The salty taste of the ocean on your homeworld. The warmth of a lover's hand intertwined with yours long ago. Each memory is pulled into the light, examined, and then bent. The choir's perfect harmony seeps into the image. It tries to correct what it perceives as imperfections. It smooths the rough, emotional edges of your past. It wants to re-edit your life into a simple, clean, elegant melody. Under its touch, your mother's loving smile becomes blank, emotionless. The taste of the ocean becomes a flat, chemical sensation. The lover's hand feels cold, disconnected, clinical. It is an attack on the very foundations of your identity. A psychic demolition. It wants to unravel the messy, complicated tapestry of who you are, thread by painful thread, until nothing is left but an empty vessel. A hollowed-out shell, scrubbed clean of personality. A new, silent instrument ready to join their star-born choir. You grip the worn arms of your command chair, so hard your knuckles are white bone. You will not let them take this from you. Your past is a chaotic jumble of joy and pain, of victory and regret. It is messy, it is flawed, it is human, and it is yours. They will have to tear it from your soul, and you are determined to make that as difficult as possible. You can feel it happening to the others, not with your ears, but in the quiet, shared space of the ship's internal comms network, or what's left of it. There are 83 crew members still alive on the Adagio. 83 souls you were sworn to protect. Now, one by one, you feel their mental lights going out. The ship's advanced psychic shielding is failing. It was designed by engineers to block crude telepathic probes, not the grand opera of an elder race. You feel Ensign Carter give up his fight. His mind was always a loud, cheerful place, full of terrible jokes and an overwhelming love for his family back on Mars. Now, it is just a single, placid, empty note. A void where a man used to be. You feel Chief Engineer Rostov fall silent. A brilliant, grumpy man whose thoughts were a beautiful symphony of engines and quantum equations. Now, there is only quiet. An empty workshop. You are watching your crewmates die. Not in fire and glorious explosions, but in a silent, creeping madness that steals them from the inside out. You are alone on the bridge, but you can feel the emptiness spreading through the ship like a plague. The silence is no longer just on the external comms channels. It is inside your home. It is filling the corridors and the mess hall. It is seeping under every door. You are the last one fighting. A tiny island of cognitive defiance in an ever-expanding ocean of placid insanity. This vessel is no longer a warship. It has become a hospice, a floating tomb for the dying, and you are its last caretaker. The weight of their 83 silences presses down on you. But it doesn't break you. It fuels you. You are not just fighting for yourself now. You are fighting for them. The words on the screen blur for a moment. Then they sharpen into a terrifying, brilliant clarity. Protocol dissonance. The forbidden plan is no longer just theory. It is a path forward, a single, desperate chance. The choir's strength is their perfection, their absolute, unbreakable psychic harmony. Every mind in their fleet is connected, thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same purpose, singing the same song. They are a single, unified consciousness, a perfect chord resonating across the stars. And that, the heresy file argues, is their greatest weakness. A perfect chord can be shattered by a single, dissonant note. You cannot fight their perfect song with a better song. You must fight it with the opposite. You must fight their harmony with pure, unadulterated chaos, with human noise. A wild, manic energy floods your veins. It pushes back the despair. The plan is insane. It is a symphony of madness, and you are its chosen conductor. The choir expects you to fight with weapons, to fire torpedoes that will never reach them, to charge your shields until they burn out. They expect you to cower, to break, to surrender your mind to their beautiful, terrible music. They are not prepared for this. They are not prepared for humanity's secret weapon, our ability to be loud, obnoxious, and profoundly, gloriously messy. You look at the garden of glass ships, so serene, so perfect. You are about to become the galaxy's worst neighbor, and you are going to turn your music up to 11. A new purpose surges through you. The grief is still there. The fear has not vanished. But now they have direction. You are no longer a victim waiting for the end. You are a weapon preparing to fire its only shot. Your fingers fly across the console. No more hesitation, no more doubt. The first step of protocol dissonance is simple. Power. You need all of it. You begin rerouting energy from every non-essential system on the Adagio. Life support in the empty crew quarters goes dark. The backup shield generators are drained. The massive engines that could once push this ship close to light speed go cold. The ship groans around you, a deep, protesting shudder as its heart is repurposed. You are turning your ship into a gigantic broadcast antenna, a pirate radio station at the end of the universe. All of that power is channeled into one place. The main communications dish, a massive instrument designed for subtlety and distance. Not for this. The system protests. Red lights flash across your console. Catastrophic overload imminent. One screen blinks in bold letters. You bypass the safety warnings without a second thought. Safety is a luxury for people who expect to see tomorrow. The dish is your weapon now. And your ammunition? The heresy file had a specific suggestion. You open the ship's deepest cultural archives. 2,000 years of recorded human history, our art, our music, our greatest wars, our most profound speeches, and our dumbest internet arguments. The sound of a baby's first laugh, the roar of a rocket launch, the quiet poetry of a forgotten writer. You will transmit all of it, all at once. A concentrated blast of unfiltered human experience. A torrent of beautiful, terrible, contradictory noise. The dish begins to hum, a deep, resonant thrum that you feel in the deck plates. The power levels are climbing. 90%. 95. The choir is out there, singing their perfect song of unity. They have no idea what is about to hit them. You are about to broadcast the ultimate expression of human chaos directly into their hive mind. The ship shudders around you. The final pieces are falling into place. The broadcast is ready. You take a deep breath. Your finger hovers over the activation key. You think of Carter's bad jokes, of Rostov's brilliant mind, of every silent soul on this ship. This is for them. You press the key, and you scream humanity's name into the dark. For one brief, glorious moment, the silence is broken. A wave of pure, unfiltered chaos erupts from the Adagio. It is the sound of 1 billion lifetimes lived all at once. The roar of Bach and the Beatles, the fury of forgotten wars, and the laughter of children. It is everything we ever were, a tidal wave of psychic noise. For a long moment, nothing happens. The garden of glass ships remains serene, perfect, unmoving. The pressure in your head is still there. A cold knot of dread forms in your stomach. Did it fail? Was it all for nothing? Was our chaos just a whisper against their thunder? And then you feel it. A flicker. A tiny, almost imperceptible falter in their perfect song. It is like a single note played out of key in a flawless symphony. A moment of confusion. The unwavering psychic pressure lessens for a fraction of a second. They heard you. Deep inside their unified consciousness, they heard your noise. And they do not understand it. Their minds are built on logic, on harmony, on a purity of thought that we can barely comprehend. Your broadcast is psychic poison to them. It is illogical. It is contradictory. It is full of pain and joy and rage and love, all mixed together. It is a signal that makes no sense. A new feeling radiates from the choir's fleet. It is not aggression, not yet. It is curiosity, a vast, ancient mind turning its attention to a new puzzle. One of the crystalline ships, a slender spire of silver light, drifts slightly from its perfect formation. It is a small thing, a barely noticeable shift. But to you, it is a tectonic event. You have made them deviate. You have broken their perfect geometry. For the first time in 10 years of war, you have made the choir react. You have their attention. The psychic hum from their fleet changes. It is no longer just a pressure. It has a question in it now, a sense of inquiry. What is this noise? What is this ugly, beautiful, chaotic species that dares to scream at gods? The first crack in their perfect armor has appeared. Now, you just have to break it wide open. The broadcast is working. But it is not enough. The initial shock is fading. You can feel their immense consciousness adapting, trying to analyze the chaos, trying to find the pattern within your noise, to absorb it, to make it part of their song. You need to make it more potent, more personal. The heresy file had a final, chilling addendum. It spoke of amplifying the dissonant signal, using a focused, emotional core as a carrier wave. The archives are just data, cold and distant. You need to give the chaos a heart. And you only have one to give, your own. You link your mind to the broadcast stream. through the ship's neural interface. It is a dangerous, forbidden piece of technology, one that could easily overwhelm your sanity. But you are far past caring about the risks. You have to weaponize your broken heart. You open the floodgates of your own soul. You pour every ounce of your own messy, human emotion into the signal. The grief for your 83 fallen crew members. The rage at the injustice of this silent, one-sided war. The fierce, stubborn love for a species that could be so brilliant and so foolish. You feed the broadcast your deepest hopes. The tiny, irrational spark that refuses to die. The hope that this last, desperate act will mean something. You transmit the memory of your father, teaching you the constellations, the searing pain of your first heartbreak, the swelling pride you felt when you first took command of this ship. You even send them your shame, your regrets, your failures. Your mind becomes the focusing lens for 2,000 years of human chaos. Your own personal agony becomes the razor's edge of the weapon. It is the most painful thing you have ever done. Tearing open your own wounds and showing them to the enemy. But you can feel it working. The signal changes. It is no longer just noise. It is a scream. A raw, emotional, deeply personal howl of defiance. Then, you see it. One of the smaller ships, a crystalline jewel of blue and white light, begins to flicker. Its inner luminescence strobes erratically, wildly. A shiver runs through the void. You feel it in your mind. A piercing, high-pitched shriek of pure psychic agony. It is not a sound in the air. It is a sound in your soul. The ship convulses. Its perfect, smooth surface begins to crack. Fissures of dark energy spiderweb across its hull. It is screaming. One of the voices in the choir is screaming in pain. Your chaotic, emotional noise has found a crack in their unified mind. And you have wedged a crowbar of pure human feeling into it. The hive mind, for the first time, shows its first true vulnerability. They are not gods. They can be hurt. They can feel pain. And you have just given them their first taste of it. The shrieking ship flares with a brilliant, final pulse of light. Then it goes dark, drifting, silent, broken, one ship, one down, thousands to go. But it is a start. It is everything. The other ships in the choir's fleet react instantly. The curious hum is gone, replaced by a wave of focused, palpable rage. You have hurt them. You have introduced pain into their perfect, serene existence, and they do not like it. The garden of glass flowers has become a thicket of thorns. The psychic pressure on your mind increases 100-fold. It is a physical hammer blow, trying to crush you, to silence the source of their pain. But your grief is a shield. Your rage is an armor. You are no longer just you. You are the avatar of human defiance. You push more of yourself into the broadcast. More pain, more love, more chaos. Another ship begins to flicker. You are in a duel now. Your single, broken mind against a star-born hive intelligence. A battle fought with memories and emotions instead of lasers and missiles. And for now, you are winning. But you know it cannot last. Your body is failing. Blood trickles from your nose. Your vision is starting to blur at the edges. The strain is too much. You need an end game. One final act of defiance. You look at your console. There is one last reservoir of power you have not touched. The ship's main reactor, a miniature star held in a cage of magnetic fields. Protocol dissonance had a final, apocalyptic suggestion. A footnote marked, "Last Resort." You can overload the reactor, but not just to create a physical explosion. The plan is more elegant. You can rig the containment fields to fail in a specific sequence. forcing the core to collapse into a micro-singularity. As it collapses, it will release all its energy in one final, massive burst. A burst you can shape and direct with a communications dish. You can turn your entire ship into a bomb of pure, weaponized feeling. A star of human defiance. It will be your final broadcast. One note of pure chaos, amplified by the death of a star. A psychic shockwave that might just be powerful enough to shatter their entire fleet. To silence their song for good. It will destroy you. It will obliterate the Adagio. But your death will be the loudest thing the galaxy has ever heard. The countdown timer appears on your screen. 10 minutes. 10 minutes until your ship becomes a legend. The final countdown has begun. The ship is groaning around you, protesting its own imminent death. You have done everything you can. The plan is in motion. The die is cast. There is nothing left to do but wait and to speak. You lean forward, closer to the log recorder. Your voice is hoarse, strained, but clear. If anyone finds this, you begin. If any part of this message survives the storm, I want you to know something. The choir, they thought we were flawed. They saw our chaos, our emotions, our individuality. And they saw it as a weakness, a disease to be cured. They thought our noise was a sign of inferiority. A sad smile plays on your lips. They were wrong. Our chaos was never our weakness. It was our blade. It was the thing that let us dream and build and love and fight. It's what makes us human. You look out the viewport at the swirling, enraged fleet of light. They are beautiful. They are perfect. And they are sterile. Perfection is brittle, you say, your voice gaining strength. Harmony is fragile. Unity, when it is absolute, has no room to grow, no room to change. We are a species of beautiful, glorious messes. We fight and we forgive. We create art and we commit atrocities. We are a symphony of contradiction. And that is our strength. The countdown timer on your screen clicks past the 5-minute mark. The humming in the ship's heart grows louder, higher pitched. So if you are out there, if humanity survived somewhere in the dark, do not be afraid of your noise. Do not let anyone tell you to be quiet. Do not let them smooth out your rough edges. You take a shaky breath. Our chaos is our greatest gift. It is the fire that will light the way. It was the weapon we used in our final hour. Remember that. Remember us. This is your last will and testament. A final message to a future you will never see. A captain's final words. 3 minutes left. The psychic rage from the choir's fleet is a physical thing now. It rattles the teeth in your skull. They know what you are doing. They can feel the energy building in your ship's core. They are trying desperately to break your mind before you can unleash your final attack. But you are anchored. Anchored by your grief, by your purpose, by this final message. You are a rock in the psychic storm, unbreakable. The light from the reactor core is beginning to bleed through the bulkheads. The bridge is growing brighter. A clean, white light replacing the dying red. It feels peaceful. You have faced the abyss, and you have filled it with your own light, your own noise, your own messy, beautiful, human soul. You watch the countdown timer tick below 1 minute. This is it. The end of the song. The end of the war. The end of you. You lean back in your captain's chair, your throne. And for the first time in a long time, you feel a sense of peace. You have done your duty. You have honored your crew. You have fought the good fight. You look at the log recorder, its small red light blinking faithfully. This is Captain Eva Rostova. Final log of the Adagio. We were here. You reach out and end the transmission. The light outside the viewport is blinding now. The sound of the overloading reactor is the only thing in the universe. But you do not hear it as noise. You hear it as music. A final, chaotic, triumphant chord. Then, there is only light. And in the heart of the choir's perfect fleet, a new and terrible silence begins. A silence that is not theirs. A silence that is your victory.